So I used to hate One Piece. Like every time someone was talking about it, I was literally running my eyes and I was like, I don't want to hear anything about it. I know. Do not judge me. But there is the thing. I had an actual good reason why I used to hate One Piece.
I'm fine with just a cup of tea.
Cola for me!
Before starting this video, just letting you know that there's gonna be no spoilers, just videos and images without no context. Also, I'm so sorry for the cracking noise in the mic. That's never gonna happen again. I just noticed that. I'm so sorry. And no, it was not because of the art style or because it was too long or because like it was popular. It's sad because there is a reason why that thing is popular, you know what I mean? It wasn't for any reason that people usually give, you know? No, me, it was because my ex.
He lives in the den and he's recoding your brother for you, huh?
Sure!
So one of my ex loved One Piece, but when I say love, there's a capital L in front. Every single time we're seeing each other, like every single time, it was just One Piece. One Piece, One Piece, one, like for hours and hours and hours and hours. So yeah, every conversation come back to One Piece.
久しぶりだな。麦わら。
Then he wanted me to watch the anime and read the manga. Now, don't get me wrong. I actually love when people share their interest with me. I love it because it makes me discover new things that I may probably like or dislike. Plus, it's the part of the relationship. You should share what you love with each other, right? But this was different. I promise you this was different. So when we watch the anime, he will pause every 5 seconds. I'm not even kidding you. Just to spoil me what was about to come next, or just to explain to me the whole plot of what's happening right here, right there. So, for example, when they just mentioned Arlon, just mention him. I didn't even saw him. I already knew what he looked like, his past, where he come from, everything and anything about Arlon. That was how bad it was. In my head, I was like, can I not just discover it by myself? And then same thing came with the manga. Except that it was not normal reading. That's mean I had to borrow his manga with his note, and he had to read it at the same time as me. I'm not even kidding you.
You're just not my type!
And sometime I didn't even had time to finish the page that he was like, oh, I will explain to you later, no problem. Just flip it around and stuff. So I was not allowed to read it alone.
Hey, are you gonna betray me?
No.
Anyway, moving on. And plus that, do you want to know what was his favorite character between all the One Piece character? Like, when I'm telling you all the character, he picked that one character. It was Moria. Yes, you heard me. Moria. I mean, that explains a lot on the person, right? Because who the hell love Moria? Like, I'm sorry, but I don't like that character. Like, for me, he's just a lazy. We're not judging. My heart still stay open. Anyway, moving on. And that was back in 2016, 15, 17, something like that. Okay, I was in high school. That's all I know. Now, fast forward to March 2025. Now, I know what you may think. Like, I'm pretty sure you started because of the Netflix show, like most of the people, and there's nothing wrong with that. The Netflix show did amazing, at least I think so. But no, because when it came out, I refused to watch it. I was like, no, I ain't no watching that. Because I was so traumatized with it. I was like, no, I don't want to. I really don't want to, because like I had PTSD. Even if my husband was telling me like, you should really give it a try because you're gonna love One Piece knowing you. And I was like, no. And he was like, well, okay. And he was reading One Piece on his own or watching One Piece on his own, but he was not imposing it to me. And that felt really good. But after years and years of avoiding it and seeing like my husband liking it so much, even if he was not talking about it, he was just like displaying his figurine or so I wasn't avoiding One Piece because of One Piece. I was avoiding it just because of the experience that I had with One Piece. And those are two different things. And then I am a cosplayer and I am constantly around cosplayers. And seeing their One Piece cosplay, I was like, they're beautiful. How can I avoid this? When I see cosplayer cosplaying One Piece, I'm like, this is so cool. And I was seeing all the characters that just One Piece have and all their face and stuff, how different they are. I'm like, no, I'm sorry, but I gotta give it a try again. Because to be honest, the cosplay community is what truly convinced me to try One Piece again. And for that, I'm so thankful. Because with that, I did something that I never thought I would have done. I started watching the anime. I started watching the Netflix live action. And later on, I even started to read the manga. And since then, I'm reading the manga at the same time, and I'm loving it so much. Now, before anyone's saying that I'm slow, because I think I am. I think I get the feeling like I am slow with One Piece. I'm currently right in the middle of Punk Hazard right now with Caesar and all that stuff, you know? And honestly, I'm taking my time on purpose because I don't want to rush it. It's like I know eventually I'm going to catch up to it, but part of me, I don't want to. I don't want to catch up to it. I just want to enjoy the journey. You know what I mean? Because the story deserves to be enjoyed. It's like looking back, I realized that I never gave One Piece a fair, good start because I literally stopped before Nami background story. Before it started to get good. And I stopped right before everything changed. Before like it's just like a goofy pirate adventure. And it literally turns into the most emotional stories I've ever experienced. Because then came Laboon, and yes, I cried for 3 days for a whale. I think everybody does. I hope everybody does. Then there's everything involving the government, the corruption, the slavery, the friendship, the sacrifice, the dream, the boat, the boat, the boat. Every single arc gave me another reason to keep going, and like to know more, to know what was that about, what was this about, like Oda. Now, that may sound a little bit controversial, but every time someone tells me that they hate One Piece, I'm always have to ask myself one thing. Did you really give it a chance? Because I almost didn't. And if I have stopped where I originally stopped, I would have missed all of this. And I agree, maybe One Piece isn't for everyone. And that's okay. Even if that makes me sad a little bit, but that's okay. Not every story is made for every person. But I genuinely believe that there is at least one moment, one character, one background story that almost anyone can connect with.
But for Robin specifically, people come up to me all the time because of the I want to live moment and tell me that they decided to live, right? Because of that moment. The first time I heard it, tears are happening, but it is an ongoing theme. So just to have a character, and there's multiple characters in this show that are overcomers, you know?
You don't have to cry for every single thing like I did. I'm sensitive, but it's me. But it's hard for me to imagine getting through all those like moments without feeling anything. And then there's the art style. I think that like is the biggest criticism that I hear about One Piece. People always say I cannot watch One Piece. The drawings are too bad for me. And you know what? Honestly, I disagree. In fact, I actually what is I know it's gonna sound hard for some people, But I actually prefer One Piece drawing over a lot of anime out there. I know that sounds crazy, but I have good reasons. One of my favorite things is the diversity. You have giants, fishmen, long arm tribes, long leg tribes, tiny people, old people, weird looking people, ridiculous villains. Every island feels different. Every culture feels different. And every character feels different. Hi, Nana. I want to say hi. Come here. Come and say hi. Come here. Say hello. It's Nana. Oh, want to talk? Oh, now I know that a lot of people mention the fact that Nami, Vivi, Shirahoshi and stuff, they have the same face. But for me, it's just one way. Oda likes to draw a type of beauty.
わらわが何をしようとも世界中がそれを許してくれる。なぜならわらわが美しいから。
But when I look at the entire world that he's been created, that critic became so tiny on such a big scale. The creativity behind this word completely outweighed me. And for me, I prefer One Piece faces over like, I don't want to name any other anime or any manga, but you know, those anime that you have the same face and it's just the color of eyes or the color of hair that changes. At least One Piece, it give you like a different taste for each and every one. Like you look at Zoro, he got a totally different face as Sanji. Same thing as Usopp. Same thing as Frankie. Robin and Nami, Luffy, they all look different. Our main character looks different. And already that feels good. I'm literally getting goosebumps just talking about this. I'm sorry. It's just like I wanted to make this video because One Piece changed so much in my life in so little time. And I rejected it for so long. And I want to try to change the outlook of those people who say that they don't like One Piece or they don't want to start One Piece. Because I was one of them too. It's like One Piece changed me and changed the way I look at stories. And I never thought I would be the person saying that. So if you only watch the Netflix show, please give the anime a chance.
You idiot! That symbol means it's lethal! Whoever eats that mushroom dies within the hour.
Of energy. Doctor said he was going to teach me to...
Or even better, read the manga if you can. Because there's some pretty neat stuff in the manga too. The live action is fantastic. I feel like they did amazing with the casting. The costumes are amazing, the sets are incredible. And knowing that Oda still have his hands on it, really makes me happy. But the anime and the manga got so much more to offer. Even if Toei animation is not perfect, but we're not gonna talk about that today. My boy Sanji. It's like watching those moments come to life. It makes the whole experience really something special. That was not English, but it's okay. So if someone like me, who has been avoiding One Piece for the longest ass time, can ended up loving it so much, up to a point that he became that fast one of my favorite manga, then please give it a chance. Water 7 and Impel Down are my favorite arcs so far, but that's a huge commitment to ask for someone who's just about to start. So here is what I recommend instead. At least make it to Nami background story. And if you can, keep going until you reach the Grand Line. Go and meet Laboon and get caught in Chopper and Vivi's stories. Then you can decide for yourself. For myself, from Skypiea to Water 7, it was pretty rough. Like, it was a pretty boring part. Mainly was the Fox Pirate. Ugh. Anyway, at first it was fun, and after I was like, no, you can pick if it's for you or not. If it's not for you, that's completely okay. But maybe, just maybe, you will end up like me. Someone who waited years and years to just experience a great experience. And I'm taking my time because I don't want the adventure to end yet. That's how much the story meant to me. You know what I mean? Like, it's like those fans who says, oh, One Piece is too long. And once you start One Piece, you're like, no, One Piece is too short. It's way too short. I need more. I want more. Give me more. Exactly. So, thank you, One Piece. I never thought I would said that, but I'm literally glad I gave you a chance. And before this video ends, I want to say something to the long-time One Piece fans. Thank you. Thank you so much for welcoming me with open hand in this community. I wasn't expecting that much kindness that quickly, but from the moment I started to share my journey through my Instagram post, a lot of you were so happy to see someone experiencing this experience for the first time, and it made the adventure so much more special. Of course, every community get his toxic side, but that I feel like that's the internet now those days, you know what I mean? Sadly. But beyond that, I've met so much passionate, not toxic, funny, and welcoming people in this community who just love to share and talk about the work that Oda has been creating. So, like, yeah, thank you so much. And I'm really happy to finally be part of this journey with y'all. And I cannot wait to see where the adventure takes us next. But until then, kiss, kiss, and bye bye! Oh, j'ai mal aux jambes, j'ai mal aux pieds. C'est une tout flutter. Also, do you like my cosplay? Make sure to follow me on my links below. Instagram, TikTok, and all that stuff. I got more One Piece cosplay. And there will be more. So be ready. Sorry. Not that much ladylike.